Before the video starts, let me say that I don't blame school for not teaching me all the things that I needed to know. I think school does teach you valuable things like learning how to read and learning how to write and how to spell and how to share and other stuff like that, but I don't think we can rely on school to teach us everything. It's also on us to learn things on our own and for us to teach our kids things versus just assuming that school would take care of everything. When I finished school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I've told the story 100 times, and to make a long story short, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I discovered making videos in 2019. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom said that I had to go to school and study hard so that I can get a good job and, the typical immigrant mentality, right? Those of us whose parents were immigrants, you know what I'm talking about, because your parents didn't sacrifice everything and uproot their lives to, immigrate to another country for you to be an artist. I just remember hating school when I was there. I didn't like the structure of it. I didn't, like that I had to learn the Pythagorean theorem, even though I was never gonna use it. Still haven't used it to this day. And, to an extent, school was just fun because your friends were there, but learning the things that I didn't want to learn wasn't fun at all. Then on top of all of that, I was seeing my friends go to university, my girl went to university, and seeing that didn't help at all. But the thing is that I always had an interest in photography and cameras and, other stuff like that, but I never took those classes in school, and for full transparency, they were offered, but I just didn't take them at the time. So, this isn't gonna be a whole video on bashing school because there are valuable things that school can provide. But at the time, I was more interested in Modern Warfare 3. I always knew that there was money to be made in photography and video because everywhere you look, there are photos and videos of things, products, websites, services, anything and everything has to be marketed in some way. But it wasn't until recently that I realized that, I can make money currently doing this photography and videography thing, and that was only because someone told me that I could have done it. I thought that I needed to build a way bigger portfolio. I thought I needed my work to be way better. And, just in general, I thought I had a long way to go in terms of my quality and body of work. Those were all things that I thought I had to do. But then one day I got in touch with an old friend that I used to play PS3 with, and he was the one that urged me to start charging people for my work. And I remember having some doubts. I remember thinking, I couldn't do it yet. I remember thinking, this guy's crazy. What's he even telling me? There's no way I can start charging people yet. I thought my work had to get better. But he said, start posting your work. Run some ads, follow people, see where you can add value. And if they say no, just move on to the next person. There's always gonna be somebody else that you could reach out to. So I will admit that after doing some thinking, I came to the conclusion of what's the worst that can happen? No one is gonna come to me and ask me to do work for them. It was up to me to put myself out there and, find leads so that I can get some photo work. So I posted my work and I ran some ads. I didn't spend much, it was like $20 here and there. But after doing that, a realtor followed me and reached out. I was kind of nervous doing it because I kept thinking, man, they'll see me as a starving artist, or what if they judge me? What if they don't like my work? And I was having all these thoughts going through my head, but I powered through and I pressed send. Hey person, just wanted to reach out and say that I can take real estate photos and videos for you. I also have a drone if that's something that you would be interested in. You can find more of my work at bradramana.com. My rate is X amount of dollars an hour, and that will get you photos and a video for social media. Look forward to hearing from you. And I put that saluting emoji. And I pressed send. And I waited. And the person responded saying yes. This was the shot I was waiting for. This was what I wanted to do. And I was now talking to someone that could make it happen. Fast forward a couple days, I went to take the photos, came home eager to edit them, and I sent them off along with the invoice. After the invoice was paid, everything changed. It was like the veil got lifted, and it's like I was seeing the world's true colors. It felt like everything that I was told about making money before was false, and it felt like I just hacked the game. I'm not saying my mom was wrong, because she only told me what she knew. She didn't know anything else. It felt like I carved my own path, and I called one of my friends and, I told him what I just did. And he was so happy for me. He told me that I have to do it again and I should keep doing it so that this summer I'll be able to quit my job and do it full time. I then called the guy who told me to start charging people, and I told him the story, and he was super excited for me, and he was glad that I took his advice. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, one, I want to thank my friend for telling me to try and pursue it. He knows who he is, and I hope he's watching this. And two, you don't have to wait until your portfolio or your work is at a certain level. I always see these crazy photos get taken, and then I instantly want my work to be at that level, but I'll get there eventually. It doesn't have to be right now. My work doesn't have to be at that level for me to start charging for my work, because there are tons of people looking for my level of work, and they probably see my work like how I see those other people's better work. I remember I saw this quote and it said, somebody that's less qualified than you is ahead of you simply because they applied themselves. You also have to remember that there are people out there that are willing to pay someone else to do things that either they don't want to do, or they don't want to learn, or they think that their time is more valuable, so they'll pay you to do it better than they can so that they can spend their time doing more valuable things. So let this video be the permission, or me urging you to go and start charging for your services. Maybe it'll help you pay your rent. Maybe it'll help you put food on the table. Maybe it pays for your food that you ordered this Friday. Either way, you have to be the one to go out and do it, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And as always, thanks for watching.